Well, hi, all my friends. We are going to be continuing in the book of Samuel, and we are in chapter 4. Um, okay, this is going to be Israel overcome by the Philistines. The ark is taken, and Hophni and Phinehas are slain. Eli, hearing the tidings, falls backward and his neck breaks, etc. Okay, so always before you hear the word of God, pray and ask for his guidance and teaching through the Holy Spirit so that you can understand what he wants to share with you. And even if it isn't now, it may be later, it may come to you. So the word of Samuel came to all of Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistines to battle and pitched beside Ebenezer, and the Philistines pitched in Apec. I'm sorry, I didn't say that right. Ebenezer, and the Philistines pitched in Aphek. Aphek. And the Philistines put themselves in array against Israel. And when they joined battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines, and they slew of the army in the field about 4,000 men. And when the people were come into the camp, and the elders of Israel said, "Wherefore has the Lord smitten us today before the Philistines? Let us fetch the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of Shiloh unto us, that when it cometh among us, it may save us out of the hands of our enemies." So the people sent to Shiloh, that they may bring from hence the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth between the cherubims. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. And when the ark of the covenant of the Lord came to the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth rang again. And when the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, "What meaneth the noise of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews?" And they understood that the ark of the Lord was come into the camp. And the Philistines were afraid, and they said, "God is come into the camp." They said, "Woe unto us! There has not been such a thing heretofore. Woe unto us! Who shall deliver us out of the hand of the mighty gods? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. No, just one God, not gods. Anyway, okay. Be strong and quit yourselves like men, O ye Philistines, that ye may be not servants unto the Hebrews, as they have been to you. Quiet yourselves like men and fight. And the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten, and they fled every man into his tent. And there was a very great slaughter, for there fell of Israel 30,000 footmen. And the ark of God was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were slain. And there ran a man of Benjamin out of the army, and came to Shiloh the same day with his clothes rent, and with earth upon his head. And he came to, lo, Eli sat upon a seat by the wayside watching, for his heart trembled for the ark of God. And when the man came into the city and told it, all the city cried out. And when Eli heard the noise of the crying, he said, "What meaneth the noise of this tumult?" And the man came in hastily and told Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were dim, and he couldn't see. And the man said to Eli, I am he that came out of the army. I fled today out of the army, he said, and what is there done, my son? And the messenger answered and said, Israel is fled before the Philistines, and there has been also a great slaughter among the people. And thy two sons also, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead, and the ark of God is taken. And then it came to pass that when he made a mention of the ark and said of God, he fell from off the back seat by the side of the gate, and his neck broke, and he died. He was an old man and heavy, and he had judged Israel for 40 years. And his daughter-in-law, Phinehas' wife, was with child, near to be delivered. And when she heard of the tidings that the ark of God was taken, and her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed herself and travailed, for her pains came upon her. And about the time of her death, the woman that stood by her said unto her, Fear not, for thou hast borne a son. But she answered not, neither did she regard it. And she named the child Ichadabad, saying, The glory is departed from Israel, because the ark of God was taken, and because her father-in-law and her husband. And she said, The glory is departed from Israel, for the ark of God is taken. Chapter 5. The Philistines bring the ark into the house of Dagon. Dagon falls down. The Philistines are smitten with emerods. Now the Philistines took the ark of God, brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod. And when the Philistines took the ark of God, they brought it into the house of Dagon, and set it by Dagon. And when they of the Ashdod arose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Lord. And they took Dagon and set him in his place again. And when they arose early out of the morning, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord. And the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands were cut off upon the threshold. Only the stump of Dagon was left to him. I'm believing this is an idol, okay? I think that's so great. Okay. Therefore, neither the priest of Dagon nor any that came to Dagon house tread upon the threshold of Dagon in Ashdod unto this day. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them of Ashdod, and he destroyed them and smote them with the emerods, plagues, even Ashdod and the coast thereof. And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said, The ark of God of Israel shall not abide with us, for his hand is sore upon us and upon Dagon our God. They set therefore and gathered all the lords of the Philistines unto them, and said, What shall we do with the ark of God of Israel? And they answered, Let the ark of God of Israel be carried about unto Gath. And they carried the ark of God to Israel about thither. And it was so that after they had carried about, the hand of the Lord was against the city with a very great destruction. And he smote the men of the city, both small and great, and they had emerods in their secret parts. So some sort of pestilence or disease. Therefore they sent the ark of God to Ekron, and it came to pass that the ark of God came to Ekron, and Ekronites cried out, saying, They have brought about the ark of God of Israel to us, to slay us and our people. So they sent and gathered together all the lords of the Philistines, and said, Send away the ark of God of Israel, and let it go again to his own place, that it slay us not and our people. For there was a deadly destruction throughout all the city, and the hand of God was very, very heavy there. And the men that died not were smitten with the emerods. And the men that died not were smitten with the emerods, and cry of the city went up to heaven. So they're full of plagues and disease. Chapter 6. The Philistines Council now to how to send back the ark, and they bring it upon a new cart with an offering to Bethshemesh, and the Bethshemites are smitten for looking into the ark. So the ark of the Lord was then in the country of the Philistines 7 months. And the Philistines called for the priests of the diviners, saying, "What shall we do with the ark of the Lord? Tell us wherewith we shall send it to his place." And they said, "If you send away the ark of God of Israel, and send it not empty, but in any wise return him a trespass offering, then we shall be healed, and it shall be known to you why his hand is not removed from you." Then said they, "What shall be the trespass offering which we shall return to him?" They answered, 5 golden emerods and 5 golden mice accordingly to the number to the number of the lords of the Philistines, for one plague was on you all and on your lords. Wherefore you shall make images of your emerods and images of your mice, and mar the land, and you shall give glory unto God of Israel. Peradventure he will lighten his hand off of you, and from off your gods, and from off your land. Wherefore then do ye harden your hearts, as the Egyptians and Pharaoh hardened their hearts. When he had wrought wonderfully among them, did they not let the people go, and they departed. Now therefore make a new cart, and take 2 minch kine, on which there had come no yoke, and tie the kine to the cart, and bring their calves home from them. Take the ark of the Lord, lay it upon the cart, put the jewels of gold which ye have returned him for a trespass offering in a coffer by the side thereof, and send it away that it may go, and see if it goeth up by the way of his own coast to Bethshemesh, and then he hath done us a great evil. But if not, then we shall know that it is not his hand that smote us, it was a chance that happened to us. And the men did so, and took 2 minch kine, and tied them to the cart, and shut up their calves at home. They laid the ark of the Lord upon the cart, and the coffer with the mice of gold, and the image of their emerods, gold. And the kine took the straight way to the way of Bethshemesh, and went along the highway, lowing as they went, and turned not aside to the right hand or to the left. And the lords of the Philistines went after them into the border of Bethshemesh. And they of Bethshemesh were reaping their wheat harvest in the valley, and they lifted up their eyes and saw the ark, and rejoiced to see it. And the cart came into the field of Joshua, a Bethshemite, and stood there, where there was a great stone, and the clave the wood of the cart, and offered the kine a burnt offering unto the Lord. And the Levites took down the ark of the Lord, and the coffer, and was with it, and the jewels of the gold were put in them, the great stone. The men of Bethshemesh offered burnt offerings and sacrifices the same day unto the Lord. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to be running out of time here, and I will pick it up in just a minute. Okay, bye-bye.